So here's my 5 top tips for using ALSi. Let's start off with a scenario. Let's go to Facilitator and let's click on Quick Start. Go to Monitor Mode, tap on My Facilitator. And what we can do is just start the scenario, of course. And off we go. So my first top tip is for blood pressure. You can of course use NIBP start, and that will keep on going, and it will give you a blood pressure in a couple of moments' time. And that's very useful at the very beginning of the scenario, so the student gets the blood pressure up. But what you'll find is when you're running a scenario, you sometimes want to prompt them with another blood pressure. So there's an easy way to do that. Let's change the blood pressure. Let's move it up. Now what you do is you press Go to confirm, and then you double tap Go to send that blood pressure over immediately. Another good tip is to pause the scenario. So what you can do is you press Tools and then press Pause. It makes the screen go black and it cuts all the sound out. So that's quite useful during a scenario when you want to grab the attention of the students back to you. When you want to resume the scenario, just tap on Resume. Let's add in an SpO2 trace. My third top tip is how you stop a trend. So let's drop the saturations down, and we'll do it over 20 seconds and press Go. Now what can happen is that of course the student may decide to put some oxygen on and you want to stop that trend. That's easy, just press and hold Go. And you've stopped the trend when you've pressed Go. If you want to add in CO2, this is my 4th top tip, by all means show it by pressing CO2 and respiratory rate, but if you put the CO2 up and press Go, you will not get a trace. So remember to always add a respiratory rate, and then you will get a trace occurring on the CO2 line. My final top tip is how to use the blood pressure control with linking and unlinking the diastolic and systolic. Currently it's linked, we can move the blood pressure up and down and the diastolic will follow. By unlinking the blood pressure, you can move the systolic up, the diastolic will follow, but then you can move the diastolic down. Press Go, and of course, double tap Go, and it fires over to the student screen. So those are my 5 top tips for using ALSi.